I'm Tom Flagg, and I'm the fellow that had the audacity to write a book called STAGECRAFT, a primer for young actors. And yes, it's pronounced primer, even though it's spelled primer. Now, this is the DVD adjunct to the book, and what we're going to do here is demonstrate things that are a little easier to demonstrate than to explain using words. So, what we're going to start off with right now are hat tricks. And I'm not talking about making hats appear and disappear or anything that requires a magician's skills. I'm talking about hat tricks that will make your character that you're portraying a little more sure of himself, a little cocky, a guy with attitude. So that's what we're about to do, so let's give it a try. Here's the hat. This is called a fedora. And a fedora is a soft, crushable hat. It's made of felt. The brim goes all the way around. This is a relatively wide brim. And this is the crown up here. So I'm going to pinch the crown. And I will do that with my thumb and middle finger, squeezing the hat. My index finger lays right down the seam of the crown. And I'm ready to go with a hat trick called the rollout. The rollout rolls away from my body across the back of my hand, and then I catch it on the side of the brim, the side. And once I've grabbed it, caught it again, boom, it's on my head. That's the rollout. Let's take a look at that again. There's the pinch, thumb, middle finger, index finger, roll out away from my body, grab on my head. That's the rollout. Now, we're going to look at a hat trick called the flip-flop. Let's say that I just did the rollout. There it is. There's the rollout, the catch. I put it on my head, but it's backwards. So now I'm going to use the flip-flop to turn it around frontwards. I'm going to take my hand against the back of my head. As I slide my hand up, the hat gets pushed off. I catch it upside down and backwards. Now, my four fingers are inside the hat. My thumb is pressing against the back of the hat. Here's the flip. There's the flop. The flip-flop. Now we're going to take a look at a hat trick called the simple spin. We call it simple because the hat makes one revolution. Here's how that works. I'm going to grab the back of the brim, and I'm going to do that in a different way this time. I'm going to grab it with my index finger and middle finger and pinch them. Just like that. You can see my index finger, my middle finger is on the back side. I'm going to spin it by doing that. I'm going to switch my fingers. As they switch positions, the hat spins. There's the spin and the catch. I've made the catch with my index finger and thumb. So I've started out here, spun the hat, made the catch. Spin, catch. Pull it on my head, simple spin. So let's add something to the simple spin, just to give it a little more panache. It's going to make it look more complex than it actually is. So here's the grab on the back of the brim. Here's the simple spin and catch. But you notice I went up as I spun the hat and let it drop down as I caught it. So the more exaggerated that movement is, the flashier the gag. The simple spin with a bounce. Boom. And let's add one more hat trick to your repertoire. This one's called the brim spin, and it's a pretty simple hat trick. I say simple because I've done this in a show night after night wearing gloves. So, here's what it looks like. The hat rests with the crown open to the up. My fingers, my index fingers, are holding the hat. My middle fingers rest on top. So once again, I'm going to make the hat spin by doing that, switching my fingers. Once again, I'm going to catch the hat here, once the spin's been accomplished. So the hat is resting on my index fingers, my middle fingers are on top. I spin it as I lift it, catch it, and put it on my head. That's the brim spin. Once more, the hat is resting on my index fingers. My middle fingers are on top where I can see them. I spin it, lift it, grab it, put it on my head. The brim spin.